Performance Restorations in Mundelein. Award-winning custom car design, restoration, painting and build-ups. All performed here at Performance Restoration Shop and Collision Center by master craftsmen who provide the best in complete restoration and mechanical work. There's no need for the West Coast. It's all here. Performance Restorations in Mundelein. Call us at 847-566-7469 or visit us online.
Hello again, everybody. Today we have a very rare and special treat for you to view only on ClassicMuscleCars.com. Now, I'm going to talk to you about some GM history. You've seen a lot of GM cars that was at the recent Barrett-Jackson auction in Scottsdale, Arizona, that were prototype cars, cars that were production cars that was in their museum, the GM Heritage Museum. Well, we have something very exciting for you that you will not find even in a museum here in the United States. Today, we have undercover in these cars, they're in the process of restoration, two Series 2 Super Sports. Now, these cars were built in Argentina. They're very unique. As we go through this process of restoration, we're going to be adding to the video so that you can watch this restoration, and we're going to be showing you some of the unique things about these cars and what makes them as rare as they are. Now, in Argentina, one of the things that they do there that's a little bit different than here in the United States, we run quarter-mile times. Argentina, they're into road and track cars. That's the big thing. Now, these cars were built with that theme in their mind, so to road race them, you've got to lighten the cars. But now, what's unique about a Series 2 Super Sport? It's basically a body from a 69 Nova frozen in time. Yes, you heard me right, 69 Nova. From 1969 through 1979, they used the same body. What they did was change emblems, they changed a few appointments inside the interior of the car, and they did different colors, obviously, and a little bit different striping designs. Now, we'll get into some of that, and if you're looking at the website, you can see some of the articles there, and you can see how the cars should look. But I have went through these cars, and I'm just amazed at what I found, because all of the parts that are with these cars, they were made in Argentina. None of these cars were built here and exported to Argentina. We have some cars here, for example, we have the one T5 Mach 1 that was an export car that was built here and it was exported to Germany. This is different. These cars were built in Argentina. Now, I'm going to show a couple of the parts that we have here. It's pretty unique. Now, both of these cars that we have, and there's two of them, a 73 and a 74, they're equipped with 250 six-cylinder engines. All right. Now, if you know your Nova history, when you see these marker lights, you know that this is actually a light, the amber. Well, not so in Argentina. There's no light on the back. It's strictly a reflector. Each one of these emblems and parts were all made in Argentina. Now, the rear park light or marker light would normally have a light in the back to light it up. But again, these are reflectors. Very, very unique. Now, there's two different styles of emblems because one's the car's a 73 and one's a 74. Here's an SS emblem that goes on the back. And if you remember 68 cars, what does that look like? SS Coupe. So the 73 has a lot of features in it that remind me of the 68. For example, here's the back taillight lens. Looks just like a 68 Nova. Now, they didn't call them Novas, they called them Series 2 Super Sports. And if you know a little bit about Spanish, Nova means don't go. Well, these cars were built to go. Even though you say, it's a 250 six-cylinder, let me tell you, they lightened these cars a little bit differently. The wheel wells in these cars, front and rear, are plastic. Now, you heard me right. The rear wheel wells on both of these cars are plastic. Now, keep in mind, these cars were set up to road race. That's what their purpose was. So, instead of buying a car to go 0 to 60, back in the heyday like we did in the 60s and early 70s, we wanted to go fast, 0 to 60 or through the quarter mile. These cars were built to handle and go on the track. It has a front sway bar and a huge rear sway bar that's totally different. Instead of going under the rear end, this bar comes out from the shackles, from the rear springs, and comes out and goes around the gas tank and comes back. Those are some of the things that we're going to be showing you as we go along with the progression of the video that we're going to be producing about these cars and the restoration. Now, both of these cars are orange. One of them is hugger orange, one of them is a little bit different shade of orange. So we have two here. They are both built from Argentina with that color. Now, if you know a little bit of the GM history about orange cars were rare even in 1970. In 1969, hugger orange was on the Camaro, was on the Chevelle. If you got a 69 Super Sport, there was two different colors that were special order. That was Daytona yellow and hugger orange. In 1970, it was a very rare, not an option even, it was very rare to see them. You could special order and get a Morocco orange color that was still the same as hugger orange, but only here in the United States, obviously. These cars, both are hugger orange cars. They're orange cars from the factory. Very unique. Extremely rare that these cars have had it. Both of these cars are 4-speed cars. Both of these cars have unique dashes in them. When we get to that point, you're going to fall off your chair because I've never seen anything like this. Now, the interiors of these cars remind you of 68 Camaro houndstooth interior. They're both houndstooth interior type material. Here's another thing that's really, really cool. The back seats in these cars have a fold-down armrest. Yes, you heard me right. They have Super Sport insignia, and it has a fold-down armrest in the back. Very unique cars. They both have full consoles. Both of them have special sport wheels from the factory. One of them is actually a wood wheel. This is factory-built stuff. Now, here's something that's really cool. I'm going to hold this up. If you remember the 67 Camaro, the hood ornaments that went into the hood were 67. This plate goes around, this drops right down into the plate and mounts to the hood ornament. Now what's cool about this, both of these cars have this, and it's exactly what the 67 Camaros had. And in the back of these, and Jeremy can show you this in a close-up a little bit later, it's made in Argentina, and every one of the parts in this car is nothing that was exported from here to Argentina. They were all assembled and manufactured in Argentina. The sport mirror on these cars, a little bit unique. One of them is chrome, looks like a 68, 69 style GM mirror, but it was made in Argentina. This is another one that's painted, and it's a bullet type mirror. And this one too is made in Argentina. Very, very unique. Really some cool stuff. Now I'm going to hold up one of the back panels here with the SS insignia on the back of it. Doesn't that look familiar? The other one is a little bit different. It's not ribbed. It's a little bit more flat. And again, these were made in Argentina. Very, very unique. It's a different style. Obviously, it's still called Chevrolet. So we have a Chevrolet emblem that goes on, I believe, the 73. And also, which was neat when we brought this car here and started to go through the parts, we have an actual emblem here that's GM, and it is from South America, one of the dealers down there. So these cars, as I understand, were even rare the way these were equipped in Argentina. Now, I'm going to point this out. We're going to keep this car covered, but I want to show you here. This is very unique. The wheel that you see looks like a Cutlass sport wheel. The trim ring in this it should be the stainless, which obviously you can see some rust on it. These cars are sitting outside for quite some time. The center cap has a bow tie emblem instead of a Oldsmobile emblem on it. So it's kind of unique. These are very unique cars. as we go along with the progression of this, we have found some things that are really cool in the engine bays. They didn't have they were set with a different system for the blow-by, and the tube that they have for this is very unique. So we'll be getting into that because the pollution standards that they were using in Argentina was a little bit different than they were here in the United States, so they could get away with more, and that would help these cars run. They developed a good amount of horsepower with the 6 cylinders that they had. One of the cars that we have is equipped a little bit different because it actually was road raced in Argentina, so it has a 2-barrel Holly on it, and the engine has been built up, has a header. We'll get into that as we get into that car as we go along. Now the stock one that I'm standing next to, this one is going to be completely stock when it's finished, comes with a 1-barrel Holly, and you heard me right, and that Holly carburetor was not built here in the United States, it was built in Argentina. These cars are different. These cars really have an awesome look. They have a special stripe on it that reminds me of the Yanko Nova. At the brake in the fender, when the stripe comes down, it says Series 2, and it comes off to a peak. So these cars had a unique style to them. They're extremely rare, and to my knowledge, as of today, these are the only 2 Series 2 Novas in the United States. Very, very rare. We're very happy to have these cars here at ClassicMuscleCars.com. If you follow our videos, we always have distinct, different, rare cars here. That is what we have done for the past 31 years that we have been in business, and this is probably 2 of the rarest GM cars that we've ever had in our showroom here at ClassicMuscleCars.com.